every story appears ordinary until you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Hello and welcome to CoreTV Primetime News. I am Gift Ogete. In our major stories, intertribal sectarian violence claims many lives, leaves several others injured in Wukari, Taraba State. Also in this program, Anambra State Governor Willie Obiano boasts, says Southeast is no-go area for Boko Haram. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission says it has no power to stop PDP candidates in the June 21st Ekiti governorship poll, Ayo Fayose, from contesting the election. And outside Nigeria, Russia rejects an 11th-hour compromise deal, cut gas supplies to Ukraine to further fractured East-West relations.
And in business news tonight, new CBN's policy puts Credit Bureau under scrutiny.
In our top story in sports, Michael Schumacher recovers from coma after 6 months.
Thanks for staying tuned. Now, details of the news headlines and other stories. Many people have been killed in an intertribal sectarian strife which engulfed Wukari town in Taraba State. Further others were also said to have been wounded, while many houses were razed. CoreTV News gathered the trouble started when some people suspected to be Muslim youths descended on the town, killing anybody on sight and burning houses. However, Police Public Relations Officer ASP Joseph Kwaji, who confirmed the incident, says only 15 bodies have so far been recovered. He added the police have been able to bring the situation under control, while efforts are being intensified to arrest the perpetrators. Meanwhile, Senator representing Taraba South, Emmanuel Wach, has asked his people to remain calm and report any suspicious movement or characters to security agencies. Anambra State Governor Willie Obiano is insisting that Boko Haram cannot extend its insurgency to the southeast geopolitical zone. He made this known on the sidelines of a meeting with President Goodluck Jonathan alongside other governors from the geopolitical zone.
So they can't get there. I can assure you that we will not allow that to happen. I can't tell you in any material details about bombs found and bombs not found. You know, all I can assure you is that we are very alert in the southeast, and we are watching what is going on. And I can assure you that Boko Haram cannot come to that place.
Security forces have yet to determine the group behind the attempted bombing of a church in Owerri, Imo State. They also revealed that timely information by an informant made it easier for bomb squad to locate and defuse the explosives. The report.
This is the first time since government officials began regular briefings on the security situation in the country that Maiduguri is not the major issue. The failed attempt to bomb a church in Owerri has been in the news, but now the authorities are speaking on how the bombing was averted.
A patriotic Nigerian placed on alert call to one of the ESS security numbers, and this led to a prompt response of the police, army, and the DSS. The police bomb squad immediately defused an improvised explosive device to foil an explosion in Living Faith Church, Owerri. It was time to explode at the commencement of church service. The quick response by security forces in foiling the explosion of the IEDs must be attributed to timely intelligence report.
It also provided an opportunity for the police authorities to set the record straight on speculations. Many Nigerians have concluded that only Boko Haram insurgents could have dared bomb a church. But the police say it's too early to reach a conclusion.
Link Owerri incident to the established terror cells that we already know. Until the full identity of those behind that incident is made public, is known to security forces, until the motives are established, I think it will be too preemptive. It will be rather preemptive for us to begin to give it the toga of terrorism. It could be anything, and for us in the security world, we are leaving our options open and we're ready to test all hypotheses.
For now, investigations are still on, but the authorities want Nigerians to take a cue from the Owerri incident and be extra vigilant of strange movements and suspicious objects in their neighborhood.
Security operatives have rescued a Lebanese construction worker who was abducted on Friday. Coordinator of the National Information Center, Mike O'Mary, disclosed this at the press briefing in Abuja.
Our report indicated that a Lebanese national by name Khalil Diab, Diab is spelled D-I-Y-A-B, who was abducted by some armed bandits in Lantang, Wasi area, in Plateau State, was last night freed through the efforts of security forces. Diab, who was reported by the media to be a Briton, works with Retro Construction Company. He was released at Angwambala in Wasi local government area of Plateau State.
The case instituted against Ayo Fayose by the Citizen Popular Party and a socio-cultural group in Ekiti, E11, to disqualify Ayo Fayose on the ground that he lied on oath, has been adjourned to the 30th of June following a High Court sitting in Ado Ekiti. Rashid was there and filed in this report.
Cases instituted by the Citizens Popular Party and E11 against Ayo Fayose, the People's Democratic Party, and the Independent National Electoral Commission as joint respondents. The plaintiffs pray the Ado Ekiti High Court to disqualify Ayo Fayose for lying after oath that he has never been impeached at one time or the other. The case attracted party supporters and heavy security. Counsel to the defendant, Ahmed Raji, confirms the preliminary objection that the court cannot hear the case until after a minimum of 30 days, which was accepted by the court, but with modification.
DP is stated to be in Abuja, and under the Sheriff and Civil Process Act, any party resident outside jurisdiction must be given a minimum of 30 days. And you cannot use state rules, that's our contention, to abridge what a federal enactment has provided in respect of a subject matter within the exclusive legislative list.
While the prayer of the plaintiff was for the court to hear the preliminary objection in the case at the same time, lead counsel to E11 regrets that the court will not rule before the June 21st election.
No, not at all. It's a pre-election issue. If you follow the Peter Obi's case, when Peter Obi went to court for tenure, the determination of his tenure, while the matter was in court, INEC organized election, and that organizing the election at the end of it all was fatal.
Raji, however, dismisses the argument of the plaintiffs and maintains that more time is needed for the case to be exhausted.
We are saying that whatever urgency they are alleging is one that was self-induced because they did not approach the court on time. If they had gone to court, maybe 21st or 25th or before the end of March, we will have had the 30 days, we will have had a requisite number of days, but this was not done. They slept for so long and they are just waking up.
The two councils, however, look forward to the new ruling date.
The 30th of June, by which time the election will have been over, but the matter is still a live issue for the court's determination.
We trash that preliminary point out, we trash it out before we now move to the substantive suit, so that the election can go on.
Drama, however, ensued among party supporters who threw few political tantrums at each other before peace was restored by security agencies. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado-Ekiti.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, says it has no powers to stop former Ekiti State Governor Ayo Fayose from seeking a rerun to Government House in spite of corruption charges against him. The governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party is standing trial for allegedly diverting over 800 million naira during his first time as governor. The anti-graft agency insists that only the Independent National Electoral Commission can stop Fayose.
On former governor of Ekiti State, Ayodele Fayose, I think the proper quarters to direct that question to is the Independent National Electoral Commission, which is the umpire presiding over election. It is not the EFCC. Our mandate is to enforce economic and financial crimes law, not to preside over electoral matters. If the umpire believes that the electoral law, allows suspects standing trial in court, even though they've not been convicted, to stand for election, that is his prerogative. It is not for EFCC to decide for INEC or Nigerians.
The police have deployed 2 surveillance helicopters and other high-tech equipment to Ekiti State for the June 21st governorship election. This is in addition to police personnel who have been sent in to reinforce the team on ground. Inspector General Mohammed Abubakar says the operatives have a clear order to stop potential troublemakers. The report.
It's only a matter of days to the June 21 elections in Ekiti State. And for the police, it's a time to show off their level of preparedness. These helicopters are on their way to Ekiti to provide air support for police team on ground. The pilots are getting last-minute talk, just like the others heading for the southwest Nigeria state. It looks like one of the biggest police operations in recent times, but the Inspector General says it's justified.
We will do everything humanly possible to provide safety and security for the electoral materials, for the personnel who are going to be involved for the election for INEC, because that is the responsibility of the police. Every other thing will work with INEC in partnership to ensure that this election is free and fair in all this conduct.
Fierce-looking dogs, several armored personnel carriers and a bomb-detecting robot are also heading for Ekiti. The police authorities will not give a clear figure of personnel on ground, but they are convinced that the team will live up to expectations.
We have already made plans to ensure that you are paid your due allowances in Ekiti. Every one of you will be given his dues, and therefore I do not expect you to do anything stupid. Regulation must be obeyed and must be respected. remember, you are going to be watched, not only by your own officers, by other organizations, including civil organizations, including international monitors, who will be in Ikiti to watch every conduct that you expect there.
And as the police reinforcement departs Abuja, the Inspector General made it clear he won't tolerate any act of indiscipline. But he also wants the political class to play by the rules before, during, and after the June 21 election.
You're watching CoreTV Prime Time News. National Population Commission seeks presidential approval to conduct census in 2016. We'll bring you details of this when we return. Stay with us.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ghana. Please remain seated and ensure your seatbelts are fastened. You can now turn on your MTN mobile phone data to enjoy a browsing rate of 5 kobo per kilobyte with MTN One World. Thank you.
Absolutely. Browse like home with MTN One World. Surfing the web from any MTN operating country costs the same like home. Enjoy affordable rates when you call and send text messages. Terms and conditions apply.
MTN, everywhere you go.
This one wash challenge will test Ariel to see if it removes stains in one wash. Let the challenge begin. First, chocolate and juice. We will wash shirts with Ariel. Look, Ariel has cleaned in just one wash. So which detergent removes stains in one wash? Ariel. P&G Everyday Quality brand.
Come June 21, it will be decision day for the people of Ekiti. 18 candidates are gunning for one seat.
I am the next governor of Ekiti.
But the people will have the final say.
I know that tolerance has a very big place.
Join extensive coverage of the election and get up to the many details as development unfolds.
I'm the voice of the Ekiti people.
With expert analysis from the best political team on television.
And that's honesty of INEC. Without
Join us all day June 21 to find out who emerges the next governor of Ekiti State.
We have agreed to move this state forward.
Keep a date with us on CoreTV News. You can also watch us live on our website on www.coretvnews.com, a 24-hour news station.
CoreTV News now provide a platform for live coverage of political rallies and electioneering campaign from anywhere in Nigeria. Political news stories, political editorial reviews, political discussions, personality profile, People's Parliament from the National, State and Local Government Assembly. Contact us now on 0803-471-8550 or 0803-724-9733. 01453-3407.
Our 24-hour news station.
It's good to have you. Stay tuned. Welcome back. You're still watching CoreTV Prime Time News. For more information on our news and other programs, visit our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/CoreTV News. You can also follow us on Twitter, is at CoreTV News NG. Also on YouTube at www.youtube.com/CoreTV-News. The National Population Commission has formally sought the approval of President Goodluck Jonathan for the 2016 census. The Commission's chairman, Eze Duru Ihioma, disclosed this to State House correspondent after a closed-door meeting with the President. He says the Commission cannot conduct the head count without the presidential proclamation.
My attitude as a person is to look forward. I like being positive about everything I do. And most importantly, is this idea, this national pastime of looking behind to find out what went wrong in the past. They will not help us. Now, everybody on the commission today is new. In other words, wasn't part of whatever may have happened in the past. And that entitles us to some, some benefit of your doubt. You see, whatever is happening in that part of the country today It is our prayer that it comes to an end sooner or later. It is also our prayer that before 2016, in fact, one day is enough for that thing to come to an end. So we pray, we keep praying. And of course, when you get to a bridge, you cross it. You don't cross a bridge, you don't get. So let us get there first.
Free and compulsory education are keys to a better future for the African child. Lagos State Deputy Governor Adejoke Adelupe Adefulire made this known at the media briefing in commemoration of the 2014 African Child's Day. Abiola Luwole was there. His report is presented from our studios.
Every June 16th has been set aside from 1991 to celebrate the rights of an African child by the African Union in honor of children massacred for participating in the 1976 Soweto uprising. Lagos Deputy Governor Adejoke Adelupe Adefulire decries the increasing trend of domestic violence against the girl child. She added that the only way to checkmate the prevalence of rape and child abuse in the country is through effective legal framework.
Sentences to a life jail term without option of fine for offenders. Are we in agreement with that? Yes. I think there will be a maximum reduction in rape cases if that is put into consideration. We will also require full support of law enforcement agencies and the court to ensure justice and successful prosecution of the offenders.
As government strives to arrest the ugly trend, the children say collaboration between stakeholders is key to combating the incidence of rape.
As we the masses now, we've known we have to be carrying it to our friends, to those that, like the suggestion box she said, if like any of our friends that know about it, that maybe they've been raped before, and if we are able to talk to our friends and they're able to open us to us, we'll be able to pass it to them.
The government, rather, can't only do all this alone, but in conjunction with the help of the government and the people, together with the students, we can eradicate or reduce the number of rape cases, domestic violence in our homes, and together we can have a society in which the African child can grow up to be confident and become a better person to make the African continent a millennium in which we all are aspiring for, and a better tomorrow.
The Guardian seeks more action to put a stop to domestic assault, especially against the child.
Rotary International District 9110, in collaboration with Alliance for Smiles Incorporation USA and the Lagos State government, are to hold free corrective surgery for children with cleft lip and palate defect. The surgery, which will last for 9 days, will be undertaken at the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital. Our health correspondent, Anita Fatunji, now reports.
Cleft lip and palate defect is a fissure or opening of the body's natural structure that forms before birth. It can also affect other parts of the face, such as the eye, ear, nose, cheek, and forehead. According to Dele Balogun, a medical practitioner, the aim of the program is to help correct cleft lips and palate defects in children.
The aim is to correct cleft lip and cleft palate deformities. We have started today and we'll still be here for the next 9 days. It is our wish that we have children and adults that have deformities of the lip and deformities of the palate to come for free surgery at the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital.
And for others, it is an avenue to create awareness.
We actually started the campaign informing people about this program about a month or slightly over a month ago. We distributed posters all across Lagos State health institutions, public places, through the media for people to know about this program. And we requested as many of these people to come last week, Thursday. We started the screening last week, Thursday, in which we looked at the patient, performed physical examination, examining for the defect and any other defect also, and commenced the preoperative investigation. Some of those results will be here, are ready now, so that we look at these results and look at the suitability of this patient for surgery. After we might have done that, then we'll be able to know how many people we know that we are going to operate. The surgery will stretch across 9 days, so maybe we'll be operating about 10 to 15 patients per day.
We are appealing to every member of the public that is listening to us and to me to bring out the children with these defects. The stigma on this defect is much, and we do not want this stigma to spread around. Rotary wants good life for all.
Nigerians say support and awareness programs of this nature will help in no small measures to address the problem. Anita Fatunji, CoreTV News, Lagos.
The Central Bank of Nigeria says it has refunded 14.6 billion naira to consumers or customers of various banks across the country who lodged genuine complaints on their banking transactions. The Director Consumer Protection Department of the bank, Umar Dutse, disclosed this at a news conference in Ibadan. Dutse, who was represented by a deputy director in the department, Hadija Kazim, added that the complaints were received between 2010 and May 2014. More than 3,000 complaints from banks and their customers were received during the period. CBN puts Credit Bureau under pressure. Find out how in our business news after this break. Stay with us.
This one wash challenge will test Ariel to see if it removes stains in one wash. Let the challenge begin. First, chocolate and juice. We will wash shirts with Ariel. Look, Ariel has cleaned in just one wash. So which detergent removes stains in one wash? Ariel, P&G Everyday Quality Brand.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ghana. Please remain seated and ensure your seatbelts are fastened. You can now turn on your MTN mobile phone data to enjoy a browsing rate of 5 kobo per kilobyte with MTN One World. Thank you.
Absolutely. Browse like home with MTN One World. Surfing the web from any MTN operating country costs the same like home. Enjoy affordable rates when you call and send text messages. Terms and conditions apply.
MTN, everywhere you go.
Come June 21, it will be decision day for the people of Ekiti. 18 candidates are gunning for one seat.
I am the next governor of Ekiti.
But the people will have the final say.
I know that tolerance has a very big place.
Join extensive coverage of the election and get up to the many details as development unfold.
I'm the voice of Ekiti people.
With expert analysis from the best political team on television.
And that's honesty of island. Without
Join us all day June 21 to find out who emerges the next governor of Ekiti State.
We have agreed to move this state forward.
Keep a date with us on CoreTV News. You can also watch us live on our website on www.coretvnews.com, a 24-hour news station.
CoreTV News presents a platform with presence in over 30 states of the Federation. Be sure to be had. For live coverage of events, we have the capacity to deliver from anywhere in Nigeria and beyond. Contact us now on 0803-471-8550 or 0803-724-9733, 014-533-407.
Our 24-hour news station.
Hello there, you're welcome to the world of business. I am Sabena Izoku. The Central Bank of Nigeria new policy stance of fraudulent practices in the banking industry, occasioned by loan-related offences, and many others may have put the Credit Bureau under scrutiny. While the CBN's promise of pursuing a zero-tolerance policy on fraudulent borrowers is expected to complement the activities of the Bureau, the firms need an update information technology system and strategic thinking to ensure that a reliable credit history of all borrowers is obtained, while also ensuring that the defaulters don't have access to loans until they meet their obligations. The Central Bank Governor Godwin Emefiele said at his maiden media briefing that his regime will clamp down on fraudulent borrowers through establishment of commercial courts to adjudicate on loans and related offences. The Central Bank of Nigeria's report for the first half of 2013 showed that 2,478 fraud and forgery cases involving Nigerian banks valued at 22.4 billion naira were recorded. The figure was higher than 2,300 recorded cases valued at 7.1 billion naira in the corresponding period of 2012. And again, the Central Bank of Nigeria, Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation, NDIC, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, and the Nigerian Drug Law Enforcement Agency have linked the successes of fraudsters in Nigeria to bank officials' approach in the fight against fraud. These institutions that were unanimously in their submission at the 2014 Compliance Conference of the Committee of Chief Compliance Officers of Banks in Nigeria noted the need for banks to raise their ante towards exposing fraudsters and their transactions. Adebayo Adelabu, Central Bank Deputy Governor in charge of Financial System Stability, who represented Godwin Emefiele, CBN Governor, said while fraud and corruption are international in coverage, their incidents had become predominant in the third world countries, including Nigeria, as a result of perverse incentives. The Global Economic Crime Survey of 2014 by the PwC Global reiterated the fact that the economic crimes such as fraud, identity and password infringement, corruption and cybercrime or accounting fraud have damaged the reputation and integrity of financial institutions and also discourage honest investors with adverse consequences on economies of such countries. Stakeholders in the gas sectors have urged the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) to accelerate the rate of construction of gas pipelines networks in the country in order for the power sector to realize its full potentials. They emphasize the importance of the country having reliable and sustainable gas infrastructure network if the privatization of the power sector must succeed. The gas industry operators who spoke at the annual general meeting of the Nigerian Gas Association in Lagos expressed the hope that the privatization exercise of the power sector will usher a new lease of life and engender confidence in gas and power business in the country. The stakeholders also said the unsettled huge debt profile of some of the government agencies, such as defunct Power Holding Company of Nigeria, PHCN, has induced fears in the minds of gas producers and hence their refusal to make further investment in the sector. The African Development Bank has commended the federal government for investing the proceeds from the partial removal of fuel subsidy in the development of infrastructure as well as other sectors. The commendation came at the opening session of the African Union Summit convened by President Macky Sall of the Republic of Senegal on financing infrastructure development held in Dakar, Senegal. Listing some achievements in the infrastructure sector across Africa, the Vice President, Africa World Bank, Mokhtar Diop, commended the federal government for the successful privatization of the power sector in Nigeria. The President of the African Development Bank, Donald Kaberuka, who on his part commended the President Goodluck Jonathan for the partial removal of petroleum subsidy for the investing and saved money on infrastructure and education, among others, also added that a lot needs to be done, as energy has remained the main problem in almost all the African countries. Nigeria's consumer inflation rose to 8% year-on-year in May against 7.9% the previous month, the National Bureau of Statistics says. Food inflation, which is the biggest contributor to the headlines index, rose to 9.7% year-on-year in May, up from 9.4% in April. Since a decline on the headline index in January, price continued to trend upwards, albeit at a slow pace, increasing by 0.1% points year-on-year each month between February and May. The price increases since in May 2014 are as a result of a high price in groups that contribute to both the food and the core sub-indices. But specifically, food prices edged high to 9.7% up to 9.4% in April. Prices are pushed high as a result of high prices in bread, cereals, fish, dairy, fruits, and vegetable groups. The prices increases in the food sub-index were, however, weighed down by relatively slower increases in the meat, oil and fats, potatoes, yams, and other tubers classes. And on the stock market report, trading closed today on a negative note as the Nigerian Stock Exchange All Shares Index ended at minus 0.16% to close at 41,449.51 basis points. Market capitalization dropped at minus 0.16% to close at 13.69 trillion naira. Investors engaged 182 million ordinary shares worth 1.96 billion naira in 4,517 deals. 7L PLC led the gainers chart, followed by Owando PLC, Mobil PLC, Okomu Oil PLC, and Total PLC respectively. While Webco PLC topped the losers table, followed by Nigerian Brewers PLC, Stanbic IBTC, GlaxoSmithKline PLC, and ETI. Meanwhile, here are the top 5 trades. And that's it on Business News. Coming up next is Sport News with Tolu Ojewomi. Stay with us.
Power style, that's what he delivered. Here's that ball storming, no, he takes Oriol with a flying lead.
Go, taking them out in the lead.
Good evening. We'll start our sports stories tonight with the update of the Super Eagles outing tonight at the Mondial. The Super Eagles of Nigeria ended the first match with Iran on a goalless note in the 2014 World Cup in Brazil, with Nigeria having a 63% of ball possession to 37% for the Iranians. Nigeria is set to meet Bosnia come Saturday, 21st of June, for the second game at the Mondial. Now, NBA Finals, San Antonio Spurs won their 5th NBA championship on Sunday, beating Miami Heat 104-87 to win the best-of-7 series by 4-1. Kawhi Leonard continued his excellent form to score 22 points and 10 rebounds in Game 5 and was named the most valuable player of the finals. Leonard, whose Spurs team lost to the Heat in last year's final, said, "It just feels like a dream to me." LeBron James, the 4-time NBA MVP, who led the Heat to titles the past 2 seasons, scored 31 points, but was largely ineffective after the first quarter when he had 17 points. The 22-year-old is the youngest finals MVP since teammate Tim Duncan in 1999. FIFA is to review how it broadcasts goal line technology decisions after the process caused confusion during a World Cup game between France and Honduras. On Sunday, in France's 3-0 win, goal line technology was used for the first time at the FIFA World Cup to aid a decision. Replay showed a no-goal graphic before judging. The ball later crossed the line after hitting the goalkeeper. Honduras coach Le Suarez and his French counterpart Didier Deschamps were left confused by the process. Now, something on Formula 1. Michael Schumacher was finally awoken from his coma almost 6 months after his skiing accident in France. The Formula 1 legend has left at a Grenoble University Hospital to continue his recovery at a rehab clinic. According to Bild, he can now hear voices and is responding to touches. He was reportedly traveling at a moderate speed for a skilled skier when the accident happened and is thought to have been saved by his skiing helmet, which split on impact. The location of the gentleman's rehabilitation is being kept secret to respect his privacy, and it is not expected that there will be any further updates about his exact condition imminently. That's all on sports tonight. A big thank you to you for watching. Over now to Gift Ogete for the rest of the news.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digi360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
You're still watching CoreTV Primetime News, and now to foreign stories. Europe risked gas supply disruptions after Russia rejected an 11th-hour compromise deal and cut supplies to Ukraine in a feud that has further fractured East-West relations. Ukraine hosted the last gas talks, hoping to keep an energy shortage from compounding the problems of the new pro-Western leaders as they confront a 2-month separatist insurgency threatening the very survival of the ex-Soviet states. Russia's state gas giant Gazprom says it had switched Ukraine to a prepayment system, a move that effectively holds all shipments because Kiev has not forwarded any money for further gas deliveries to Moscow. Prime Minister Arseniy Yatsenyuk called the supply halt another stage of Russia's aggression against the Ukrainian state. Gazprom says it had further notified Europe of possible gas disruption and launched a $4.5 billion lawsuit against Ukraine with an arbitration court in Stockholm. And that's been our show for tonight. On behalf of the entire production crew, I am Gift Ogete, wishing you a very good night rest. Good night.